Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Itkin, psychic medium, angel channel, and intuitive healer. And today I'm going to talk about how your connection with your deceased loved one is never broken. I'm going to share some examples with you from my own experiences and from readings that I've given. And if you have any friends or family that you think would be interested in this video, please share this on your page. So I think the most challenging aspects of grief after we lose a loved one is this idea that there's this permanent disconnection, that we will never be able to connect with them again. And of course, it's true that, obviously that we don't have that physical presence with them and we can't literally hear what they're saying. They can't hold us and talk to us whenever we feel like we want to connect. However, the way that you connect with your loved one just changes. It's not that it ends. And if you are really able to sit with that, then it will make the grieving process a little bit easier for you. So I'll share my experiences with my friend Rebecca Lamb, who died when I was in college. She was my closest friend from high school. And I felt her connection throughout my life and how she has also helped support me in my life. So when I first met Rebecca, we were doing music together in high school. We were doing a musical, and she walked in just in time to sing her solo and the song called I've Never Been in Love Before and Hello Dolly. And her voice was so beautiful and she was so angelic, and I was just really taken by her right away. And so then throughout high school, we did music together. We, spent so much time together, and she was very funny. She had an amazing sense of humor, and she was an actress. So one thing that she used to do all the time is pretend to walk into walls and just very physical, like having accidents and pretending to fall and things like that, just to make other people laugh. And so she died tragically and very suddenly, and I felt that she really inspired me to pursue this path as a healer, as a psychic medium and angel channel. But when after she died, everything that I had of hers broke. I even my brother was playing a concert and wrote a song in dedication to her. And when I was clapping, a ring that she had given me just broke right in half. And then, I gave her a bowl that that her sister gave to me after she died. That broke. I had a picture frame that broke. And at first I was just really upset that I was losing all these things from Rebecca. But I realized that because she has such a rascally sense of humor, that I felt that she was making those things break just to get me out of my head and to shake me out of my own sadness, to make me laugh. And I have talked to you before about angel feathers and a couple experiences I had when feathers have fallen just out of the blue into my hands. And I did a reading for one of Rebecca's good friends, and she also had found a feather that just fell from the ceiling. I was teaching one of my friends how to give readings and to connect to spirits, and she connected to Rebecca and told my friend that she was the one responsible for the feathers. So I've mentioned before that spirits connect to us through giving us signs in many, many different ways, whether it's through nature, physical things like breaking things, knocking things over, the lights flickering, all those things. And that's the way that they're showing us that they are with us, and the way that they get our attention. And so after my friend gave me the reading when Rebecca came through, I felt very emotional. I missed her. I felt very sad. And I was driving in my car, and the song I've Never Been in Love Before came on the radio, which is so random because it's from a old musical, number one. Number two, the radio station is a station that plays like a lot of pop music and pop and rock and all that. So it had never music from musicals. And so of course I knew that it was from her and that she was trying to comfort me. And my next example is about my grandmother. She died earlier this month, And she was 103 and had lived a very long life. And I knew that after, she passed, that I would still feel very connected to her. And before she died, this song came on the radio that just reminded me of her. And my favorite line from the song was that when her spirit left her body, how it cracked the sun. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And then I imagined my grandmother, and her spirit was so powerful in life that when she died, I just knew that it would just be an even stronger force. So the day of her funeral, it was sunny. And yeah, I know it's not that big of a deal to be sunny, to have a sunny day, but the funeral was in Rochester, which is notoriously gray every single day in the winter, pretty much. And people hadn't seen the sun in days, and it was freezing. And then I just knew the day of her funeral that the sun would be out, and it was. And then afterwards, I felt like I was getting messages from her for my relatives that missed her as well. So I was sharing, I was listening to what she was saying and sharing it to one of her relatives, and I saw a silver tray with a fish on it. And so I said that, and he said that they had a silver tray with a fish, and I think she might have given it to them, but obviously that was such a specific detail, because she wanted to show them that she was coming through. And since I know her, and it's harder for me to think of something about her that I didn't know, just to prove to myself that it was in fact her coming through. So, and then she just gave lots of loving and encouraging advice for my relative. And then a lot of things that were left unsaid, she also shared to another relative. And I want you all to know that. I mean, that's another very, very painful thing, is oftentimes when people die, we feel that there was so much left unsaid. And, and then we have questions that we feel like are never answered, or, these burning, we regret that we didn't speak our minds, or that anger that they weren't able to share with us the things that we wanted to hear, and the sadness of feeling like you haven't resolved issues in life, and that there's no chance. So during my readings, oftentimes these unanswered questions, or the words that were never said, come through from the spirit, because their egos are shed. They shed their egos after they pass away. So that was, really powerful. And I continue to feel my grandmother's presence with me. I had this idea out of the blue just to go to Houston to visit my cousins for Passover. And when I told my cousin my idea, he said, oh, she always used to go, she would come visit us on Passover. And, he really missed her, and I felt like she wanted me to go to cheer him up, and so we can cheer each other and support each other, since she died so recently. So I'm very grateful for that ability to connect. And that also kind of goes into what I said before in another video, that we all have intuition that we can develop. And if you are able to develop your intuition in terms of connecting with spirits, and that will be so comforting for you. So now I'm going to share some examples from readings I had given of the spirit connection that never goes away. So yesterday I gave a reading for a woman, and her sister came through. And I saw her sister said that she was very good at manifesting. And when I shared that, the client, said, oh, that was something that my sister used to say to me all the time. And I saw that when my client was in Hawaii, that her sister was really just around her. And I saw that she was sending all these animals in the ocean, these sea animals or sea creatures, and that there was, a sign to the client that she was around. And the client said, oh yeah, I saw, whales and all these, beautiful animals. And every time I saw the animal, I knew that it was coming from my sister. And that it was just very heartwarming and comforting for her. So another example is I gave a reading for a woman whose son had passed away, and I didn't know it was his 40th birthday. And I saw a cake that was just covered in birthday candles. And the mother had wanted to know how, you know, they should be celebrating his birthday. And so when I saw the cake, you know, it was just obvious that he wanted his family to just celebrate his life and to get, you know, a cake in his honor as if he were still alive. And he also showed me her wearing a scarf that it turned out I could see him putting the scarf around her when she was really sad, and then her feeling his presence. And it turned out the scarf that she was wearing when she went to see me, he made for her. And so he knows that this object helped her feel connected to him, and it truly did capture his energy. So, you know, if you have something that your loved one made, or jewelry that they gave you, any presents or gifts, you know, just that's a reminder that they're still with you, and that I often see the spirits want the client to have their object nearby so they do feel comforted. So that is all I have to share today. I would love to hear if you guys have any comments about experiences that you've had. I hope this provides comfort for you and healing. And if you would like to get a reading from me, you can contact me and check out my website at saraitkin.com. I hope you have a very wonderful day today.